Flat tire.
Hey!
Foul. Not again.
Chipped. Oh my gosh.
It's chance to play.
Oh yeah, you have to leave after that one. Oh my gosh.
I'm literally face palming
Oh.
right now.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Outplayed. Holy crap. Oh, the touch.
You're cutting in like you're scoring.
Just gonna get out of the way. You got me right? Oh yeah, back to him. Got you back? Yes! That's so beautiful. Let's go.
Oh man. Charging in, fellas. Pick, baby. Oh!
Let's go. Hey everyone, this is Lesky here, back to another FIFA 21 Pro Clubs player build for you guys today. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys my new favorite midfielder build that I've been using a lot lately. And it is the 80 club build with over 80 physical, over 80 defending, over 80 dribbling, over 80 passing, over 80 shooting, and over 80 pace. So basically, every single stat on this build is 80 or above. Like in the base stats, like physical, defending, dribbling, passing, shooting, pace. There might be some stats that are below 70, obviously. You just can't. That's not possible. But I tried doing something like this in FIFA 20 to have a build, a very well-rounded build to have everything over 80, and it just wasn't, I don't think it was even possible. But this year with the new center mid builds that you can actually, like center mid position that you can actually pick, it actually is possible if you get the correct height and weight on the build. You can actually get everything over 80. I did a lot of experimenting with the skill tree to try and get everything over 80, and I finally got it, and I actually love this build. Let's move on to the athletic page. You want to be 6 foot and 174 pounds because I messed with a bunch of the other height and weights, and 5'10", like say, I think the physical you can't get over 80. There's some stats you just can't get over 80. It's just not possible when you have when you change the height and the weight. I think 6 foot 174 is like pretty much the only height and weight that is actually possible to get every single stat over 80. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right on that. 6 foot 174 is literally what you need, and 174 is the weight that makes your guy fastest for midfielders. Like 119 is actually slower than 174 pounds, no matter what height you are. So you're always going to want to be 174 when you're a center mid. And then 6 foot is the height because that's what gets your stats pretty much everything over 80 in every single category. Now enough with the athletic. Let's go over to the skill tree and let me show you guys what I have there. So let's hop over there. Alright guys, so I'm over here on this playstyle screen for this 80 club build, and let me show you guys what I have listed for the physical page. In order to get the physical up and over 80, and also I just wanted to make my guy have some really good strength, because center mids in general, no matter what weight or height you make them, they always have like low 70s or like high 60 strength. Like they're weak no matter what. So I wanted to add some more strength onto this guy. So what I did is get all this strength on the left and then added the little bear claw, the strength advanced focus, which gives you +3 strength, and you lose 1 stamina, so it's not bad. I didn't add the jumping focus, which gives you +2 jumping and then +1 strength. That would get us up to 93 jumping, 81 strength. Don't really think it's too necessary. It could be clutch, but it's not too necessary. 91 jumping and 80 strength I think is really good, and that's 3 skill points which we don't really have to use. All of the other skill points are needed pretty much in the places they're at. So that's it for the left side of the physical, and then the right side of the physical, like pretty much every single one of my builds, I have all the way down to the second win, so that's very simple. And that's it for the physical. Let's go over the stats for physical. I got 91 jumping, 93 stamina, so you can be running all over the place. This is basically a box-to-box midfielder, since you're pretty much going to do anything. Shooting's really good, passing's really good, defending's really good. You're going to be running all over the field. Trying to be like the best box-to-box midfielder you can be with this build, and that high stamina helps a lot. 80 strength, because you are 6 foot and you are pretty wide for 174 pounds, that 80 strength will actually come into play a lot, and you'll pretty much body anybody that you come into contact with, especially a lot of the smaller dudes that a lot of people like to run with. 90 reactions, very good for defense and just being the first one to pounce onto the ball. Very solid. y'all's reactions might be a little different. Just depends on how many games y'all played, really. So that stat might be a little bit lower, so don't worry about that. It'll come the more games you play, it'll eventually increase. And then 76 aggression, which you can't really do anything about, so we're gonna have to let that be. So now let's go on to defending. On the defending page, we have some stuff listed because in order to get the defending over 80, I think the defending is the lowest stat. That's the closest thing to 80 that we can get. So basically we had to add a lot of defending to get that over 80, because as you guys can see, when I take it off, the default stats are just not there. And the default defensive awareness stat for a center mid is not very good compared to like a defensive mid or a defender. It's only 75, so that's what brings down the defense overall a lot. So that's what you're gonna have to do, is you're gonna have to increase the interceptions. So I think I went all the way down into this defending focus to where it gives you +2 interceptions and +1 slide tackling. This is good because it'll give you +1 slide tackling to 80 slide tackling and then 84 interceptions. So all your defensive stats will be over 80 and above, other than defensive awareness, which you can't do anything about. Yeah, and then actually this is the last sliding tackle that you're gonna want to do, which is I'm a big fan of this one, this third snake, because it's only costs 1 skill point and it gives you +2 slide tackling, so it's very clutch. And that will actually round it out perfectly to 82 slide tackling, 82 stand tackling, nice and even numbers, and then 84 interceptions on top of that. And then that will get your defending over 80. So now moving on to the dribbling. This is similar to pretty much most of my builds. I have the 5-star skills, everything on balance and agility over here on the left. Got the 5-star skills and the flare trait, and then just left these 3, the ones that you don't really need. I just left those. So I'm stuck with 81 agility, not the best, but you are 6 foot. You got to keep that in mind, and 174 pounds. But on top of that, you have 86 balance because you are pretty bulky. Your balance is actually pretty good, and the dribbling is honestly fantastic on this build. I've been mixing whole teams with this build. It feels really good because the ball control and dribbling stats are very high for a midfielder, and maybe it's just that 86 balance and also the strength. People can't push you off the ball when you're dribbling, and it's just really solid. And I'm a big fan of dribbling with this build, so don't be afraid to dribble with this build. And if you want to go with the 4-star skills instead of the 5, go ahead and do that. So that's it for dribbling, guys. Now let's head on to the passing. Alrighty, over here on the passing page, as you guys can see, I only have 3 things listed, and that is just 3 short passes, basically. Just +3 points to short passing, because as you guys can see, I have 89 vision, 89 long passing, and 86 short passing. So what I wanted to do is just add these 3 short passing to get that to 89 as well, and then everything's nice and balanced. So your passing should be very good on this build, so don't be afraid to hit those long balls and try and be a playmaker with this build. Moving on to shooting. As you guys can see on this middle section, we went with the 4-star weak foot, and it also increases your volleys a little bit up to 86, which is actually very good. We got these 3 finishing traits in the middle right here, and that'll get your finishing up along with this long shot, the shot power, and also the other finishing. So that'll get us to 80 finishing. And then what I wanted to do was add this shot power and then this other shot power plus long shots to get our shot power to 80 shot power, which is a nice number. And then I'll also get our shooting up above that 80 mark. So the shooting is actually very nice in this build. With those 89 long shots, you can actually hit some rippers, some finesses, or just straight laces, rippers, trying to hit them upper 90. Past the keeper, because you actually have a decent amount of shot power. It's not going to say it's anything crazy, but I would say it's decent for a midfielder, because most midfielders have pretty weak shooting stats. So guess it's pretty decent for a midfielder, I would say. Moving on to pace. This isn't the fastest build, but using this build a lot and winning the D1 title with this build, I've just never really ran into a problem with this build. Pace-wise, I never really got burnt. It seemed like I was covering ground. My guy felt actually very fast, faster than these stats show, and I felt like I was actually doing really good, and the pace wasn't a hindrance towards this build at all. I just think this build is very good. Every single stat is over 80, and it's just a well-rounded build, and you can pretty much do anything on the field you want. You can be on defense, you can be on offense, you can be in the midfield making plays, shooting, doing whatever. But basically, if you're a midfielder and you're running all over the field, and you're trying to just play offense and defense and be that box-to-box midfielder, I believe this is the build for you to try out. This is definitely my favorite build right now. So if you see a lot of our games in pro clubs, I might just be using this build for now on because I'm a big fan of it. I really like it, and I'm probably going to be sticking to it for a lot of these games. I'm going to be trying to obviously find new builds, but this is definitely my favorite one that I've come up with so far out of all the midfielder builds that I have used. But that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Again, don't forget that like button on this video and even that subscribe button on my channel. I'd really appreciate that. If you haven't watched all the rest of my player build videos on pro clubs, go ahead and watch that. You can check the playlist on my channel, and stay tuned for the rest of the clips at the end of this video, guys. Other than that, y'all have a great day, and peace out.
Stuck on this guy. Ooh.
Let's
Nice.
go.
We need to switch positions so I can cross it in. Dang it. RB? Yell on that one.
Bro, I was just trying to like get it in that little pocket.
Straight hit it in.
It was like behind him.
Double hand. Oh, crap.
Nice,
Like,
nice,
I
nice,
thought, like,
nice.
oh, the ball shoot. Oh, just dummied me.
Yep. Keep swing. Ooh, faking him.
Freaking freezing now.
Working him.
Nice.
Yes, let's go. Finally, if that got
Oh my
blocked.
gosh. This is good. We're up.
Now let's do this one.
Titles in
Oh my gosh.
He's in disbelief on the ground, soaking it in.